Good evening, guys. MWUSA Season 5, Episode 6. It is Tuesday night. And we are leaving late night. We're going to go for a long drive. We're not going to get there till after midnight and after 1 a.m., actually, almost 2 a.m. And we are planning on playing some blackjack tonight before the 3 a.m. shift gets there. And we may actually go to 2 casinos if we have time. I doubt that we will before 3 a.m. But if we do have time, we'll do that. And then we'll check out slots and do all the ordinary stuff that we do as well. And then we'll probably get some sleep. And then we'll start back up a few hours later. So right now, it's after 9 p.m. I got a long drive ahead of me, over 4 hours. So we'll see how it goes. I am tired, but not terribly tired. So I think I'll be okay. This car has this assist drive thing where it helps keep you in the center of the lane, so that'll be helpful. The ground is wet outside. It's been raining all day. It's still kind of misting a little bit right now. So it's not the best weather, but obviously the roads are going to be clear, so not too bad. Right now it's 47 outside, feels like 41 degrees, and it's going to go down about 5 or 6 degrees on the trip. So it won't be terrible if I want to take a nap in the car. Just get it nice and warm and toasty before I take a nap. And usually when I do these trips, I can't sleep more than 20 or 30 minutes anyway, so just somewhere to be safe and be able to kind of gather my thoughts is really what I need. Today was Tuesday, office day, all that stuff, new guy, all that stuff. And I went to the casino a couple times, made about almost like $450 or something like that. And then I went home, and Caesars has a program where if you bet $100, after you opt in, so you have to go to your offers and go to opt in for sports, opt in, and then place a bet for $100. Then you will get a $150 free bet. And the good thing about it is you can actually use your points to do the $100 bet. So I did that, and I actually did pretty well tonight. And I was watching the game, and there were some irregularities with the game, and I actually ended up betting on the point spread, the exact point spread. It was a basketball game, and it looked like one team was going to run away with it, but then I noticed that things weren't going that great for them in the second half, and so I actually bet the spread. It was I think they were favored by 21, and I bet that if they win by 1 to 3, 4 to 6, or 7 to 9, any of those, I would win. Overall, it would be a positive bet. And they ended up winning by 3, which was the best case scenario. Paid me 20 to 1 on that. And then, so overall, I ended up making $495 on that game. So it was nice. And because of that, I'm going to get that $150 free bet as well. So can't complain about that. So, so right now, the biggest news is going to be how tired I am. Just leaving home right now. Normally, I would stop for fuel. I don't even see the gauge thing on here. How do I do that? See, I don't like having the map on this thing. There's too much information here, damn it. Safety and support, no content, brightness, visibility and stability, gauge display settings, power flow settings. There you go, range and fuel. So I've got a range of 381 miles, even though I've driven quite a bit since I filled up. So I will not need to get fuel until most likely the way home. Let me think here. I might be able to make it all the way, actually. We don't want to cut it. Let's see, No, I'll have to fill up on the way home, but I'll be close to home before I really have to get fuel. So that won't be till tomorrow afternoon. So I grabbed my work computer. I am on call. Last night they actually called me just after I went to sleep and I wasn't available. And they ended up calling the next person and then the next person. But I have my work laptop. We'll get some sleep. We'll do our work tomorrow. We'll stay signed in, do all that kind of stuff, and we'll see how it goes. So this will be the first long trip I take with this car. I only have 500 miles on it, and I've had it for like 4 days, which is like nothing. So we're going to be adding 400 plus miles tonight. So yeah. All right, I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back, and it is 3 o'clock. Just leaving this place, almost 3, and we're gonna head out to another place. It went all right, not exactly the way that I thought it would, but it ended up okay in the end. Walk in, I look at slots, I find a couple small plays, I'm ahead a little bit on slots. I go look at some blackjack, sit down at a $25 table. And actually I avoided sitting down for a long time because I couldn't find a table with a new shoe. But this one looked like it was close to ending. So I sat down first hand. I won the hand, and after she pulled out the first card, it was the end of the shoe. And that happened on my second table too. After the first card, it was the end of the shoe. So I was lucky on both of those. But I ended up leaving after a severe negative count on that one. And at that point, I was ahead slightly, plus $125. So plus 125. And then I walked around, looked at slots, other things, played a few things. Really wasn't finding much, but I was doing okay. And found another blackjack table. This one is a $15 table. It was also a hit 17. The other one was a stay 17. Played that one for about 20 minutes until the count got disgusting and people came to the table. And I really never got to spread at all. I mean, I went like 15 to 30. That was it. And other than that, the count was negative pretty much the whole time. The first table I left, it was a -3 true count. Second one I left, it was pretty severe too. So I ended up leaving that one plus 0. So even on the second one, first one plus 125. I did play one other table and did pretty well on that one. And that one I ended up ahead $475. So overall, the 3 blackjack sessions ended up ahead $600. And then with slots, I played slots for about 45 minutes or so. A lot of walking around, not much going on. Saw a friend of mine, he's like, there's nothing in here. He said, I don't know why you're even here, but I have never seen a casino as dead as that casino was, other than Primrose, the one time I was there, and it was me and one other person, and she was like, what's going on here? I'm like, I don't know. Are they open? Because there was nobody in there but the two of us that time. And anyway, I ended the slot session ahead 419. So that's 6, 10, 19. We're up over 1,000 already. Only been here for a couple hours. And we're going to move on to another casino. This casino doesn't really like me very much. I got a new car, but I also have my license plate cover. I just put that on the car, and we're going to head over to this other casino, hopefully not get pulled over between here and there. I guess I could have waited till I got a little closer. But we're going to go in there and see if we can make any money at all. We're going to attempt to play slots first, and if that works out next time, then we're going to play blackjack. But right now, just want to get in the door and not get stopped. I'm wearing a hat. I look different than I normally do. Wearing different clothes. Wearing a jacket. I normally wouldn't. So hopefully I look different enough that shouldn't be a problem to get in. So, or shouldn't be recognized as much. So anyway, we are moving on to the next casino, plus a total of $1,019 there, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, I am back. So hilarious. It's like it was so late or so early, and I walk in. First person I see is someone I know, and he was talking to someone. So I said hello. I said I'll talk to you later on, and moved on. Found a machine to play, low limit machine, like 75 cents a spin, and it was in a good position. And he even came over after he was done talking to the other guy. I said, I've never seen it in that position before. And I still lost, like, I don't know what it was, maybe like 190 on it, something like that. It was pretty bad. And we saw a play. We walked over to take a look at it. And he saw another play right next to it. And he's like, you want to split it? I'm like, that's really very generous of you. Yeah, I'll split it with you, but you don't have to do that. It was very nice of him to do it. Probably because he knew I was down, but we ended up making like $56 on that one. So then he had to go because his job is kind of weird hours, and he had a phone call to do in the car, a team meeting or something like that, or some kind of meeting for work. So he left, and he's like, you see that play right there, right? And I looked at it, and it was a play, but unfortunately they had those machines kind of cornered off, so I couldn't go play it. So but I did find another play and played that one through, and actually brought me all the way back and then some, like almost right away within 2 spins. And I ended the session ahead $191, so plus 191. And right now I don't know what to do. The sun's gonna be coming up soon. Haven't slept, haven't eaten. I kind of feel like I should go back into this casino and try to play something and just not sleep tonight. What's the big deal? I could sleep when I get home. So we'll see. I'm really not tired, and honestly I was tired on my way here. And with this car, with the lane, stays in the lane for you, and I had the cruise control on, basically I just had to have my hand on the wheel. It did like 80% of the work for me. So I can just imagine with the fully self-driving vehicles how awesome it must be. But yeah, I'm gonna head over to the other casino again. We're plus 191 here, and we'll see what happens. So so far so good. Hopefully we'll build on it. I'll be back. All right, real quick, I don't know what to do about this, and I need you guys' advice. Right now I am I'm closer than this, but I was around 7,000 away from $1 million. Do I count the options that I did with the stock market as an advantage play? Because I feel like I kind of knew what direction those were going, and I took the risk, and it worked out perfectly every time. And I made like whatever 4,000 or something on that, 4,400, something like that on it. Do I count that or not? If I count it, then I could hit the $1 million today. If I don't count it, then I'm not quite there, but I'm not really sure which way to go. So give me your feedback on that. Right now I'm not going to count it. I'd hate to like change my mind later and count it and I'm already over $1 million. You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm not going to count it. Yeah, I think I shouldn't count it, because like with the silver also right now I'm way up, like 4,000. That would get me between those two. I'm already there. So I'm going to say no to the options. Give me your opinion though. If the answer is yes, then yay, we already made it. But if not, then we have a little ways to go. We'll get there soon though. So we're going to move on to the next spot, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back. Well, it's now 7 a.m. No sleep yet, and work will be starting soon. So let me kind of go over what happened there with you. It was a very long journey. Let's just say that. Let's just say, let me see here. This is earlier than there. Okay. Actually, looks like I actually did better than I thought. And then plus. Sorry, bear with me. All right, so add all this stuff up. Yeah. All right. So when I came back to this casino, I played some slots. Couldn't find anything else to play. I was ahead $104, and I was packing it in. I cashed out my voucher. I was going out the door, and that was like a long time ago, about 2 hours ago. I was leaving ahead 104, and I was okay with it. And I was gonna go sit in the car and take a nap maybe, and get ready for work and all that. I changed clothes and all that before I left, so I'm not stinky or anything here. Um, but I decided to go play some blackjack, and that went horribly wrong. I actually played on a $25 table, and I was spreading from one hand at 25 to one hand at 250, and it was going very poorly. I bought in for 300, 200, 300, 300, 200, blah 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 blah, back and forth, back and forth, and then eventually I was down like 1,200, and this guy comes to the table, and he said, "Yeah, I was at this other casino. I lost a bunch of money. I don't know what he said, 8,000 or 6,000 or something like that." I'm like, okay. And he's like, I lost a bunch of money in the high limit also. I'm like, okay. He bought in for $500, and first hand, he played 200 on the blackjack hand, 50 on one side bet, and 100 on the really long shot side bet. And somehow he survived, and he was ahead like $2,000 after about 10 or 15 minutes. And then he hits a big side bet and pays him over $18,000. And I'm like, well, you're leaving, right? You got all your money back? You're leaving? No, maybe not yet. And meanwhile, I'm rebuying. I end up in for $2,600 at that table. And finally, I couldn't take it anymore. The count was super negative. The guy was very annoying. And every time he'd hit something big, then they had to come over. And a couple times, they had to call upstairs to verify it. And I'm like, I don't want to be sitting at a table where they're verifying upstairs. It was funny because when he had that big hand, I had a 14 against the face card, and I had a big bet out there. And I said, well, you could just void my hand and I can leave so I don't have to wait for this. They're like, yeah, we'll void your hand. And then they didn't void my hand. I ended up hitting the 14 and getting a 7 and winning the hand. It's like kind of crazy. But so many crazy things happened at that table. During this whole journey, and I'm going to tell you about other stuff that happened, I had back-to-back aces. I split it the first time and got a 3 and 3 and lost them both. And then I had back-to-back. Then I had aces again the next hand, and ended up splitting and getting 2 10s and winning those two. Kind of odd. 3 3 10 10. I had so many hands where I drew 2 or 3 cards to end up at a 20 or 21 and ended up pushing. Had a bunch of like real heartbreakers too, where the dealer drew, the worst things possible, 2 2 3 5, and gets their 21 and beats you on a big hand. I had a big double down that I ended up with a 20, and the dealer had a 6 and ended up drawing out on me. That happened multiple times, but anyway, I ended up leaving that table down 2,600. So then then I came back later on, took a break, came back later on, and played a high limit table, and I just went entirely the wrong way, the wrong road, everything. What am I thinking here? It's okay. I'm not leaving the area, by the way, but anyway, I know how to get around without the map here. Been here enough times. Played another blackjack session. This time things went a lot better, and I ended up walking away from the table ahead 1,800. And that was actually a very not what's the word I'm looking for? Not a lot of things happened there. It was just like nothing unusual happened. It just played out well. I got 5 or 6 blackjacks in a short period of time. It was like, other than that, I guess that's unusual. But other than that, it was just, I'm getting 19, the dealer's getting 18, I'm getting 20, they're getting 17, back and forth. And so I was down 2,600. I got 1,800 of it back there. So now I'm down 800. I played another blackjack table, this time a lower limit one, and spread like a 1 to 6, 1 to 8, something like that. I didn't really get a chance to bet too high on that one because of the bad counts, but I ended up leaving that table ahead $200. So that put me within $600. I went and played some slots, and that took me down a rabbit hole. I was down like 500 or 600. Ended up coming back, and I was ahead $98 on the slots. And then I played blackjack again, and this time it looked like everything was going to be cool, and I got it. It's under control. You know, I went down a little bit, and then it was a bunch of wins, and then I had a big double down. That's the big double down I was talking about. And it was going to put me ahead, and everything was going to be great. I ended up losing that one and toiling for a little bit longer. I was down as much as 1,800 on that table. Ended up coming back and winning $503. So I believe if you add all that up, I lost 2,600 and I made back 2,601 and 10 cents, by the way. I ended up leaving the table. That was the end of the shoe, and I ended up leaving the table on that last one plus 503. So basically, I should have left, but I stayed for like another hour and 40 minutes, and I made $1 and gave them all kinds of action, of which I wasn't rated at all. I got to double check that just to make sure. But I was down, over 3,000 at one point, and luckily things didn't get too much worse. But yeah, we're hoping for a little bit better year this year than last year. Last year we started off real poorly early January, and I never made it back above like where I needed to be for that point in the year. I never got back to the pace that I needed to be at, and it was just down about 10,000 off my goal. I thought most of the year ended up being actually worse than that. So yeah, so right now, like I said, it's almost 7 o'clock. I made like 1,100, 12, 13, 1,400, and then went through all that turmoil and made another $1. So right now I'm going to go see if I can find something to eat. I am doing the low carb again, so yesterday was a good day for me. Didn't have any candy or anything like that. Got back on track, no rice, no nothing. I did have a tortilla, but it was a low carb tortilla where it's like net 0 carbs, so that was all good. But yeah, it's been kind of crazy here. Things were going real smooth for a while, but then that last part right there, should have just gone in my car and slept for a few hours and I'd feel better. Now I'm going to be starting my work day and tired, but what are you going to do? At least I don't have to drive 4 hours to get here after waking up. At least, I'm already awake, I'm already here, I'm safe, and I can always take a nap. So, all right, I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back, and the workday has begun, and like a good boy, I am online showing that I'm working hard, getting my stuff done, and just leaving this casino. I basically went to grocery store and got something to eat, and then came back to this casino. I looked around, could not get a table game. There was no way I was getting on a table game. They were either closed or completely full. Um, I mean, it was crazy how few tables were open. So um, I did play slots. Didn't really have too much headwind. Did okay, just didn't have a lot of machines to play, but did pretty well. And I ended my session ahead $227. And unfortunately, Tuesday nights may not be the way to go just by the amount of volume that they do in these casinos. I mean, I'm looking at the same machines over and over again, and I'm looking at cash out amounts, and there's maybe half dozen machines that I'm the last one who played them. Because you could see the last cash out amount, and I know that was mine. So um, probably not the best use of time to do an overnight Tuesday night into Wednesday. So now the problem is the next shift doesn't come in for a long time. So I'm thinking about heading back home and then going beyond home a little bit and playing. You know what? Actually, that gives me an idea. All right, we're going to go play at another casino. It is quite a ways away. Let me see if I can pull it up here. I don't know if it'll let me while I'm in the car. That's the one I'm at right now. And there we go. So, yeah, we're going to go to another casino. Let's see how. Whoops, that's definitely the wrong state. And we're going to try to get something going there. There really is rarely anything big there, but we're going to try. Let me try this again here. And down. Come on, baby. All right. So it looks like 3 hours and 2 minutes away from here. So we're going to go there and try to make a little bit of money, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, a couple hours later here, whole different atmosphere here. It's dark here, cloudy, light mist, a little bit of rain, but temperature's still about the same and stuff. So just eager to get to the next stop, and the fact that I don't have to fill up the fuel tank as often is a big difference, actually. Kind of got used to all the stops, and now I don't have that, but I did stop and fill the gas tank. Just surpassed 1,000 miles on this car for the first time, and yeah, getting close here. So got about another 40 miles or so, and hopefully things go well. I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back, and that was quite a journey there, a lot longer than I expected. Finally got to the casino, got in there, started looking around, nothing. Found a play that I don't know very well, but I have a good idea where it needs to be, and I played that one through at 2 different levels and lost on both levels, and was down $260 almost immediately within 10 minutes. And looking around, found another one, won like 40 or 50, and then found another one and played that one and got lucky on that one, and got a really good payout on that. I ended up leaving ahead $456. And so the problem was, I go to cash my voucher, and the voucher doesn't want to cash. So I go to the cashier, and they can't help me. Oh, no, I can't do that. You got to go to so-and-so. Okay, where's so-and-so? Oh, they're on their break. Okay. How long will they be? I don't know. I don't know what time they left, but when they go on break, they just leave the desk empty. It was lunch, actually, so it was like whatever, a half hour or longer, and I stood there for 20 minutes waiting. Now, understand my situation here. Normally that's not a big deal, right? Okay, you gotta wait. The problem is, I'm in a casino where I'm not supposed to be, with a voucher that's not scanning. That's a large size voucher that they may ask for ID. So I'm like, okay, now how are we gonna address this? So first thing I did I just took my wallet out of my back pocket, put it in my jacket. So if they asked me for ID, I could say it's in the car and I could just leave. And then I waited and waited and waited. And then as I was finally giving up, the supervisor tried to help me. How can a supervisor not help me, but the lower person be able to help me? Okay, he's a manager, but his supervisor didn't have access to help me, but he could help me. Anyway, so she's like, I can't help you. You have a year to cash it. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm leaving. I'm a long way from home, lady. And she's like, well, I'm sorry, I don't know when he's going to come back. So I'm leaving, and I see a guy walking up, and I said, you work right there? And she's like, oh, yeah. So I went back over there with him, and he just cashed it. He just scanned it and cashed it like it was nothing. I don't know what the big deal was, why it was such a big ordeal to have to, wait and wait and wait. All he did is just scan it and give me money. Didn't ask me for ID, it was nothing, just gave me cash, and it was done. So all that was done. I did see one advantage player in there, but only one, and he was playing a game, one of my favorite games I don't get to play anymore. There isn't a ton of variance. Every once in a while it gets stubborn and takes 300 or 400 units from you, but overall it's been a pretty good game for me because I know the entry points, and a lot of people get confused with this one. But at my home casino, my closest casino, which doesn't have any tables, they only have 2 of them left, so I almost never find a play on it anymore. So when I saw a play, I'm like, all right, I'll wait for this guy to get up, and then I saw him fast spinning, and I'm like, yeah, he's probably not going to get up, so what are you going to do? So, all right, so today was the first day that we took a long journey with the new car, and so let me just go over some things that I discovered. The seat is not as comfortable as I thought, so I'm going to have to see if I can do something about that. The trip computer, trip A, is supposed to update every time I start the car, and it's not. It's just showing the current trip. Trip B shows every time you fill up. That worked fine, no issue there. So I have to figure out how to fix trip A. And then I only had one charger with me, and both my phone and my laptop were both low, so all day I'm alternating back and forth charging them, and like one's at 20, one's at 30, 20, 30, back and forth. And then I remembered that I had put some of the other stuff from my old car in the trunk, so I found another charger. So I got them both up to like 50%. I go into this casino. Both of them had run all the way down to like, one was 7 and one was 11%. And here's the problem. The laptop, I get it. It's looking for the phone to connect to get internet because I had the mouse jiggler still plugged in. So it stayed live and it ran down the battery. I get it. Now with the Ford, when you turn off the car, you can still charge. With this one, you can't. And I have a feeling that this one has lower charging capacity somehow because it's charging awfully slow. But I got the second charger and I'm charging both of them right now. It just seems like it doesn't charge very quickly. So I'll need to look into that. If I can't figure it out, if you remember, maybe a year and a half ago, I bought a big charger, like a big brick, and that would last me like the whole week. So worst case scenario, I put that in the car and use that to charge things if this thing doesn't work out. So anyway, right now we're going to head toward home, and just to give you an idea, I've already walked about 14,000 steps today, and it's still kind of early. I mean, it's just the beginning of rush hour right now. So it's been a long day. I did not sleep at all. So I've been awake since yesterday morning. So we'll get home. We'll have dinner with the family, watch a little TV, update spreadsheets and things like that. And then we'll get to bed early because we have to leave early tomorrow. I don't have any meetings for the rest of the week, but I do need to make sure that all my work gets done. So tonight I'm going to try to make sure everything is up to date, send emails and reply to stuff and all that, so that tomorrow when I leave, I can leave at 6 o'clock, get to my destination by 10, 10:30, whatever, and try to make a little bit more money. It's just this is our life right now. So unfortunately, everything is far away. So right now, we can do our segments. What did you eat today, MW? I really didn't have much to eat at all. A little bit of chicken and a little bit of cheese, and really that's it. So when I get home, hopefully I have a nice meal waiting for me. I'll call my wife here in a little bit and see what we're having for dinner. And what did you tip today, MW? I actually had a lot of sessions today, like 5 sessions or 6 sessions, maybe 5. And so overall, I tipped a total of $0. And for slots, $0. I was going to play poker, but there were only a couple tables open because it was the middle of the night. And amazingly, some of the people that I know from the early morning, like 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, they were there at like 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 in the morning, and they were still playing. So I don't know if these people have a home or they just play 24 hours a day, but I saw a lot of them in there. Let's see. And what did you learn today, MW? Well, I did learn about how this ticketing system works at this place. I also learned I don't think I'm in their facial recognition, because although I had a hat on, I really wasn't hiding anything. And so I'm pretty sure facial recognition wise I'm good at this place, but they do scan your ID sometimes, especially in the evenings. So I try to avoid between like 8 p.m. or maybe 9 p.m. and 10 a.m. So I want to be around, in the afternoon, early evening, when there's a lot of people coming in and they're not scanning people's IDs. So the reason they scan people's IDs is to make sure that you're not banned from there, which I don't know if I am or not. I'm hoping that I'm not, but I am banned from a lot of their sister properties. So anyway, yeah, man, it's 46 degrees. It's cloudy. The roads are dry, finally, and we're heading toward home. Silver had an okay day. It retraced. It went back down a little bit. It closed at like between 80 and 82, and today it's closed at 78.50. So not terrible considering the big run up it had. If I had kept my January options and sold them at the end of the day yesterday, I would have made more money, but not much more. Right now, all my options are for June, so I have no sense of urgency right now at all. As long as it's above where it is right now in June, then I make a profit. So anything between now and then would be a bonus. I'd like it to be at least 88 or 90. In that case, I'd be making the same amount of money as if I sold today. Anything over 88 would be more money than I could make right now. So, yeah, that's about it for now. I guess we'll catch up tomorrow. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.